Here we go. Welcome back, Revolt family, for another wonderful workout of the day. Today we've got 30 rock, and it is going to be a 20-minute AMRAP, as many rounds and reps as possible in those 20 minutes. What is that you're going to be doing? You're going to go ahead and do 30 dumbbell swings. If you've got a kettlebell, you can go ahead and use a kettlebell just the same way, or an odd object. Any one of those things will work. Then you're going to go ahead and do 30 push presses, 200-meter run, and then you'll come back and do a 30 ab mat sit-ups. If you don't have an ab mat, no big deal. Think about getting either a yoga mat or a towel folded on itself a few times, and you're just going to place it in the low of the back to kind of just give you some support there. As always, you want to make sure get a good warm-up before you hit this workout, guys. We're going to go ahead and do each of these movements for 30 seconds. If you want to go through this 2-3 times, you totally can. Make sure everything is nice and ready to rock and roll. First thing that we're going to do is a 30-second hollow hold. So Coach Kat's going to demo the hollow hold here for me. So she's got her hands are over her head, her feet are together. If you notice, she's pointing the toe, squeezing the quads, and she has a nice tight core. The only thing that is on the ground at this point, guys, as you can tell, is kind of like her upper back, her lower back and kind of upper butt area. From here, if this is too difficult to hold for 30 seconds, you can always bring one knee in towards your chest. If that's still too difficult, you can always bring your hands down by your side. And once you hold that for 30 seconds, you're going to go ahead and do an arch hold for 30 seconds. So the arch hold is very similar, just kind of the reverse position of that, right? So the arch hold, same thing. When I say go, she's going to squeeze her glutes. Everything is coming up off the ground, really just kind of like her hip area is on the floor here. If you notice, her feet are together, right? That's what I want to see. Nice pointed toes. And she's going to go ahead and reach and try to get as long as she possibly can through these two positions. Once you do that for 30 seconds, guys, then we're going to go ahead and do a down dog position. So she's going to go ahead and get into the down dog position here. She's pushing actively into the ground with her shoulders. Her hips are nice and high. She's trying to stretch her hamstrings here, get the heels as close to the ground as you possibly can. Hold that for 30 seconds, and then you're going to go into an up dog position. Up dog position, kind of the reverse of that. So she's still actively pressing into the ground, but if you notice, she's trying to get her chest up away from the ground, and you're gonna have your feet or your shoelaces flat on the ground in this position. Once you hold that for 30 seconds, guys, you're gonna go ahead and do active dive bombers, which is basically those two positions. You're just working your way between them, right? So you're gonna be in that down dog position, or up dog position. From here, she's going to go ahead and dive through the bottom of that position and end up in that down dog, right? And then from there, same thing. She's going to dive through the bottom of that position and end up in the up dog position. And you'll just go back and forth, nice and slow, in between those two positions for 30 seconds. That's your active dive bomber. Once you do that for 30 seconds, you're going to go ahead and stand up. And we're going to go ahead and do some squats, a little air squat action here. With the air squats, my feet are about shoulder width apart. I'm going to go ahead and send my hips back and down. I'm always focused on ripping that ground apart with my feet. When I do that, it helps me engage my quads, my glutes, and get me ready to go ahead and hit those air squats. I'm always trying to focus on keeping my chest up. I look straight ahead or slightly up. And as you can see, she brings her hands up. That helps her keep her torso upright. If you want to do that, you totally can. Once you do that for 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and do a dumbbell strict press, or you can use a kettlebell or odd object for this as well, whatever you have on hand. When we're doing this, I'm thinking about, hey, the head of that dumbbell is on my shoulder. My elbow is pointed down at the ground. This is going to help me press straight up. If my elbow were up, I'd have to now drop it in order to go ahead and have that press action go upwards. So I'm just going to have my elbow pointed at the ground. From here, she's going to press all the way up, and she's, if you notice, getting her arm really close to her head, almost bicep to the ear is the way that I think about it. That's a nice straight position up and down. All right, nice active position there. And then back down again, elbow pointed at the ground, head of the dumbbell on my shoulder, and then at that full press, that bicep is almost next to my ear. Once you do one side for 30 seconds, go ahead and switch, and you're going to do the other side for 30 seconds. And then the next thing that we're going to do once you do your dumbbells or kettlebell or odd object strict press, we're going to do bent over rows. You can do this with two hands if you have a very heavy dumbbell or kettlebell or odd object, or if you only have a lighter dumbbell, you can just do it with one arm. So she's gonna go ahead and hinge forward at the hips. She's gonna demo it with both hands on the same dumbbell. If you notice, she keeps her core nice and tight to make sure her back is nice and flat. This is super important, guys. From here, she's just gonna pull that dumbbell to her chest, and she keeps her elbows nice and tight to the body, just the same way. When we're doing push-ups, we want those elbows nice and tight to the body, same concept here. From there, she's gonna go ahead and release, back down, and then back up again. And always keeping that back nice and flat by squeezing her core. So you're gonna do that for 30 seconds. Once you do that, again, if you wanna go through it a couple of times to just make sure you feel comfortable, make sure you feel warm, get the heart rate up. You always wanna make sure you get a good warm up before you hit the workout, guys. Have a fun time with this one. Go ahead and put your score in Wodify, Facebook, Instagram, take a picture, go ahead and post it. We're back open for business, guys. Check us out at revoltfitness.net, and we will see you tomorrow.